Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. Okay, so we are a little bit crooked and I can't figure out why. I cannot figure out why and how to fix it before we get Instagram on. Anywho, thanks for coming on live to the Clarity Hotline. That's good, right? Are we okay with that? And then maybe I should just kind of recenter here. Yeah, we've got some major updates to tell everybody about. Oh! Okay, I'm not really in the middle here. Welcome, welcome, clutter-free family to the Clarity Hotline. Instagram's checking the connection, so let's make sure that we're actually on before we start going. I think we are. Oh, I know why. Testing, testing. Hang tight, YouTube. Okay, let's see. Are we on? I guess we're not on. Hold on. Let me just get Instagram set up. I hang it on my laptop. And we should be good to go, I think. Let's just clean that off. Yeah. All right, let me pull my notes up. I have it in a different spot now. Hello, hello, welcome, welcome, Clutter V family to the Clarity Hotline. We are live. I'm hoping that the connection is strong. I'm getting kind of a little bit of a warning that we're not all that put together here in tech land. But we're just gonna go with it. I'm excited to be here. A few minutes late, uh, but life happens. I'm pulling my notes, and I've got a couple questions that came in, but I do want to just open the line for anybody who has a question here live. Bring it. Bring any question. Ask me anything. And then we'll get started. But yeah, welcome to the Clarity Hotline. We're talking mindset, business, all the above, decluttering from the inside out. So nothing's really off limits. But yeah, I'm Yvette, your host, and let's do it. I really want to, yeah, help you find clarity, find your way through the stuff that's got you confused, got you feeling stuck, got you feeling maybe held back in life, like something's missing. Like, what is that, right? Something's just not clicking in your life to where maybe it's keeping you from peace, joy, and fulfillment. So let's clear it up. I am on a new computer. The craziest thing happened on Wednesday morning. My laptop would not start. It would not start. And the day before that, it was kind of like it was on the charger, but it was giving me kind of like a it's not charging little icon. So I knew it was on the charger and it would charge eventually. I guess I kind of just had that trust. Well, lo and behold, the next day it just would not power on. I went to the Apple store, Genius Bar. I'm like talking to them, like nothing happened. Nothing happened. And they said, this happens to tech, and any device will maybe just one day not turn on. And this was not powering on no matter what he or I did. And so it led me to either, I had two choices: send it in to get repaired, right? And wait those days and pay the money for the repair and all that. And then I had the other option of just buying a new laptop. Well, in a way, I'm like, oh my gosh, I manifested this because I did want to, I wanted a new laptop, but I wasn't in a rush for a new laptop. But I'm like, okay, I just manifested this, that I would get one right now. For whatever reason, it wasn't even something that I felt like I needed. My laptop was fine. Like it was honestly just until this week, it was fine. It's a powerhouse, right? And so I'm like, what's going on? What's this telling me? And so I want to walk you through some of the emotions that I had because it was some powerful insight into the world of manifestation, right? So I'm here thinking like, okay, I manifested this. But all the while I'm going through the emotions and the turmoil of one being inconvenienced by this I didn't plan on going to the Apple store that day, getting out of my flow of my day and going to the store and waiting, to have an appointment at the Genius Bar and be seen, only to be told that it's not fixable unless it gets sent off. And then even then, we're not even really sure, if this could happen again. Who knows? And so the doubt was enough to be like, no, let's start brand new. Let's get a new laptop, which then put me, you know, out the dollars, the money, the cost to purchase the new laptop. So, all the while, I'm grateful that I have the means to afford this, right? I'm grateful that I can buy the laptop, the new laptop. Um, I can't imagine being in a worse position where it's like I have no options, right? So at least the options were pay to fix it or pay to buy a new one, and I felt fine with either. I was maybe just not prepared for having to buy a new one, So that was kind of that was the lamest part about it. Not maybe feeling like I was inconvenienced or it wasn't the right time. And so I had to purchase the new laptop. Well, anyway, um, then yesterday was completely slammed. It's busy. There's really no time to kind of get this new laptop up and running because you have to upload it. You have to, what do you do? Like use a time machine or an iCloud backup or whatever. Well, anyway, to back up to bring your computer like to where you left off because the other laptop wasn't turning on. So all of that stuff is gone unless I pay to fix it. It's literally gone. I'm like looking at this laptop. Why is this even like giving me any notifications? Because I literally turned it off. Okay. Um, I had to just silence it. Where was I? Um, Let me just check this, make sure we're okay here. Okay. So anywho, so I'm in, getting the laptop. Oh yeah, yeah. So then I have to time machine backup and the last time machine. So everyone, moral of the story here, back up your computers. Well, my last backup was this year in February. So I definitely had some updates to do or just like bringing it back to current day. So the iCloud is helping with some of that. So it's bringing back my files that I've since, uploaded and saved to my laptop, but it's different. It's different. But anyway, I'm not even worried. I'm not tripping on that. Everything's all good. I'm just glad, there is the iCloud and I do have things backed up and I did have the time machine backup from February. At least that was really great. And so, yeah, I'm just like, okay, I'm counting my blessings here because I was totally put out. But this is manifestation because why would I look at this gift, right, from God, the universe, as like, okay, here's your new computer? Because I will tell you, it's pretty dope. Like the new MacBook Pros are really dope. Like the technology is sick. I'm just like, totally, thank you. Thank you. Ask me anything, by the way. This is an ask me anything question. I'm just filling people in on the chaotic um week of having my laptop completely die on me on Wednesday and having to literally buy a new laptop. Like who does that? I don't know. I've never thought that was something that would ever happen. So anyway, even the guy at the Apple store was like, "Yeah, no, this happens." I was like, "But a Mac? No, I can't imagine this ever happening, like just never powering back on ever again." And it's literally I should send it off to recycling to be melted for parts. That's like literally what I was being told. Because the trade-in value I think was $80 because it wouldn't power on. It was $80 so for parts. And um anyway, I'm finding all the blessings, right? I'm like, okay, well, easily backed up. I got my time machine. At least it's from this year, right? It's not from last year or something. Time machine backups, I'm not really like that on it. Um, oh, that on it. I'll get to that question. That's really cool. I'm not really that on it as far as backing my machine up, but I'm gonna have to do it like at least every 3 months. That would be really ideal, at least. I mean, I was really, really good about it back in the day. I would like probably back it up every week at least. So yeah, it's time to get that good again. But I would say, um, let's come into the room and get together here, and I will answer the questions that are on this screen. So plop them in there. Don't worry, I'll get to them. Ask me anything. I'm on Instagram and YouTube, and I just want us to come into this place together. Really arrive, be present, take a big breath in and out, in and out, wherever you are, even if it's without eyes closed, just be present, come into this space and arrive, right? Because that's the beginning of clarity. With presence comes clarity, because then you see through all the crap that's just clutter. And so that's what we want, right? And so that's what we're doing today on the Clarity Hotline, getting our questions answered. I have some questions that came in. I was just giving you some background on one. I've got a way better picture on YouTube than I've had in a while, so that's crazy to see the difference of the technology, how the camera is so much better now on the MacBooks than it was even a few years ago. Because I think my laptop, the other one was from 2021. That's not even that long ago. So I don't know. I was completely dumbfounded. One little tip though, I will say, he did tell me to plug the charger for the laptop into the surge protector, because the surge protector will protect if ever like there's a blackout, or if ever, the power goes out, who knows? Anything can happen. But if it's plugged right into the wall, that's all that juice, all that wattage going right into your laptop when the house powers back on. And I know some of like summertime, there's like rolling blackouts and stuff like that. So plug it into a surge protector. Apparently, that's too much juice for, your laptop to get all at once. It's especially if you keep it plugged in all the time. And then you should shut down, power off completely your laptop at least once a week. Okay. Okay, so we're coming into the in the present moment. We are breathing to get centered and to just make some space, make some room for what answers might come right now. Okay, cool. So I always like to start with breath, but I totally started with story today because I was like, oh yeah, you guys need to know what has been going on. So we've got a couple questions. Ask me anything. So let me just get to this question really fast that came in on Instagram. My question is, are you visiting Morocco? Yes, absolutely. Morocco is on like a bucket list in the near future. I want to go so bad. It's very, very, um, I guess, imminent that I visit. There's a lot of places I want to see, especially out that way. And yeah, I don't know. I don't know when it'll be. I have a couple places I'd like to see maybe first. Uh, and having littles, so I've got a 6 and a 4 year old, and I'm feeling like I don't want to put too much on my plate with them. I'm just like, we will do like the domestic trips, the little trips here and there, but there is some overseas trips that I'm planning with them. I would say in the next 2 years, within the next 2 years, I want to be traveling abroad with them for like a good amount of time. So I don't know if that's, me taking them out of school, or if they're homeschooled, then just homeschooling them with me overseas, or whatever, however we'll work it out. But I mean, I love that idea. So thanks for getting my juices going around Morocco, because, yeah, I don't know. Tell me all the things I need to see there, by the way. So let me know. Yeah, tell me all where I should visit. So let's get into the questions. Did I? Oh, no, no, no. I was going to wrap up the manifestation. So here's kind of what I was enlightened to with regard to just being inconvenienced around, oh, I had to buy a new laptop, and is this even the right time? What did I even want to spend money on this right now? And the reality is yeah, actually, a new laptop, a new phone, kind of every 3 to 5 year cycle is actually quite reasonable to upgrade, right, your technology. And I would say, because I don't personally have that much demand on needing anything every year, brand new, needing everything even every 2 years, feels just unnecessary, I guess. I like the idea of trading in the device you have and then upgrading. But honestly, I'm good. Like I am in light, lean, flexible era, and it is all good. I don't need to switch out my tech, especially if it's working perfectly fine. Um, and 3 to 5 years feels good, right? So anyway, that was like in my mind about this is how life would be feel normal. I'm totally in on that. And this, I guess, rounds out more than 3 to 5 years, me getting this new laptop. And so for me to reject it would be basically saying to God that, no, I don't want a new laptop, despite me saying I want a new laptop. At some point in the last, few years, let's say, I've probably put it out to the universe. Yeah, I would like a new laptop. Or I wonder what new technology, they've come out with because the screen is big. They've got this nanotechnology, so there's no glare on the MacBook. If you get that version of the MacBook, you can get one with no glare. I loved that. And then the screen is all the way to the edge, like the new iPhones. There's even like a ring light built in to the screen, so I could be lighting my face even more than it is now on the laptop. So I'm just being like, whoa, completely amazed by all the upgrades. Well, anyway, I like that feeling, right? That feeling of just kind of moving with the times. And not that it's wrong to keep things, technology that's older, if it's working right, if it's serving you, if it's not causing you problems or making you feel like it's holding you back, like it's the weakest link in your life. Like my laptop, what definitely wasn't the weakest link. It was a great powerhouse for me. I mean, these MacBooks are powerhouses. And so, but I did, right? So back in maybe, I don't know, I want to say even last year, I put it out there that, yeah, I would like a new laptop. And I just put it out there. And just as casually as that, the universe is listening. God's like, okay, I heard you. And then boom, he makes a way. Just like if you hate your job and you're like, why am I here? I want a new job or I want to start my business. I can't wait to be done with this job. Well, you either quit or you're going to get fired, right? You're going to get laid off or whatever. The economy is going to tank and you're going to be part of tons of layoffs. And it's kind of like the universe decided for us, right? The universe is making a way saying this is the perfect timing. Go ahead and take the opportunity by the horns, run with it. It may not feel like it's right to you because maybe you weren't expecting to spend this amount of money right now. Um, and that's the truth. Like you weren't necessarily expecting to do it right now, maybe because you weren't wrapping your mind around, I guess, the consequences of making this decision right now and going to the Apple store and purchasing it. I was honestly, I guess, willing to be shown when it was time to get a new laptop. I mean, honestly, because I wasn't actively pursuing buying a new laptop. I wasn't going online looking around and finding it. But I am welcoming the manifestation because I look at it as like, okay, well, God was listening. This is what I wanted. And so I was just literally like, thank you, God. This is absolutely what I wanted. Thank you. And thank you for paying for it too. Thank you for being the provision behind how I got this. And here's the thing, if we take what we've always wanted and say, "Oh, man, I don't have enough money for this," and, "Huh, this is such bad timing. I didn't want to be inconvenienced like this," and, "Oh my gosh, now I gotta restart this whole thing and add all my files that I've lost," and I'm looking at it as if it's not a gift, but actually a curse. I'm saying to this manifestation, this beautiful gift, right, that's given to me. Like, if you think about money as just energy, it literally was just given to me. Yeah, I put out money to pay for it, but that's just in the circulation of flow. And energy is flow. Money is give and take, just like energy is. It's giving and receiving. This is the flow of life. And so I just was like, yeah, God, okay, thanks for paying for it too. Thank you for my gift and thanks for covering the bill. Because I know that God will. God will cover the bill. And if that comes in a unexpected check in the mail, or if that comes in the form of, a customer for my products, a coaching client signing up, however a gift, right, from a family member. I mean, honestly, it could come any way, and I am open to receive because I am all for just being another cog in the flow that is money, in the flow that is energy, giving all of us everything we want, all the desires of our hearts. And for us to look at something that we've wanted and maybe it came at the wrong time and we're saying, "Oh, I don't want this." Then the universe is totally confused. The universe is like, "Okay, well, hold up. I thought you said you wanted this." Oh, and you're worried about how to pay it? Okay, so you're doubting that I'm going to come through for you. And so see all of this, it repeats the cycle of lack and scarcity versus saying, "Okay, well, thank you." And what else? And being in that receivership of more, right? And being grateful for what you've been given and granted and being open to receive, right? Allowing the flow into your life, including the means to pay for these things. I think we shut ourselves off energetically when we are refusing to accept kind of this gift from God. Like, okay, it didn't just fall on my lap because I did have to drive there. I was worried about like, oh, what does this mean? Right? What does this mean for my productivity? What does this mean for what I have scheduled for the next few days? How is this going to line up? How is this going to work out that I am without a laptop for what I think they quoted me like 7 to 10 business days would be it would be sitting in the manufacturer. And I guess I could have like into an old laptop that I have where I don't even know the charger, but some people maybe have other means of like, oh, I'll get online with that. And so yeah, go ahead and fix that. That's not my light lean life. I'm okay with having, my one uh, laptop. At this point, I probably have access to maybe 3 or 4 other people's laptops, including one old MacBook Air. Yeah, I could. Anyway, I have access to laptops. I could have definitely borrowed one and probably been fine, but it wouldn't have been all of my logins, all of like the ease of that. And so, what felt easier to me was to buy a new one because I wanted one anyway, right? And also what it was easier is if it's mine, then I can bring over all my stuff versus I don't even know what all my logins are, right? If I don't have my, password saved, which we all do, right? We save so many of our passwords on our browsers that it's like, man, I don't even have to think. And if you have devices that share, so like Google or Android or Apple, then you share across devices, you're not even logging into hardly anything. You're using your face to log in or your fingertip. And so it's like, that is just too easy to pass up. I love the convenience of that. So I think the inconvenience would have been more that I was borrowing a laptop and trying to like make up time and make it work when, wait, this is my chance to get the new laptop I wanted. So I think it's all about perspective. That was definitely really telling, like how I receive this right now will tell the universe, will give God a confirmation from me that I am on board with you coming and being here and making a way and being provision and stuff, like that. I'm all on board with how you want to give me the desires of my heart. So if you've got a wish list and you put on there a new car, a new house, a new job, right? Um, you just know that that will come. And how it comes might feel like an inconvenience, might feel like bad timing, but ask yourself, did I ask for this? And is God just coming through? And maybe he knows, or not maybe, he does have perfect timing. And so I'm gonna give into this. I'm gonna give into this because he knows best. And even my highest, wildest, um, most delicious dreams, I mean, he's got more in store for me, than even that. And yeah, I hope that was clear because that's what I was left with this week. That was a confirmation of one that we're powerful manifestors. We're co-creators with God, and if you put something out there, just be open to receiving it at any time. And then have an open dialogue with God and be like, God, I don't know how I'm going to pay for this, but you are going to make a way. So I'm going to sit back and let you do your work on my behalf, and watch him do it. Watch him do it. It's a beautiful thing to see. I think once we realize that, yeah, God's got our back, and he is our provision, and he's our source, right? God, the divine universe, everything good that flows is within us, is part of us. We are working together, because we are one. We are one in this creation that is our existence in these human bodies on this planet. And yeah, just tap into that power, tap into remembering that you can have all the desires of your heart as long as you stay open to receive it. Receive whatever it is that you want. Okay, so we've got some questions in. Again, please continue to ask me questions, ask me anything on the live stream. We've got questions from Kelly and Iman. Some kind of deep questions. I'm like, okay, do we have time for both? I think so. Why do I keep burning out in my business? Every time I think I'm getting ahead, I fall back into feeling overworked and exhausted. I think that's a big one. So we will get to Kelly's question. We'll start with that. Iman asks, is there a natural cure for depression? I That's a touchy subject, right? We probably all have experienced depression. I think we maybe feel depressed right now, or we're coming from feeling depressed. Maybe we feel like we've got our mojo back. We're feeling a lot better, right, about ourselves, uh, and maybe you've come from feeling like you've hit rock bottom, or uh, or you lost your job and you feel like, oh, how am I ever going to get ahead? Like, I wasn't expecting to lose my job, and now I've got to try for a new job, and what do I put on my resume, and who am I to even be go after a position like this, right? Something that maybe is a lot more aligned with your dreams and goals in life, something that feels maybe like, oh, it's a challenge to try to get this, but it's very much like something that I'm drawn to and I'm passionate about. And the idea of having a job like this would really fill me up every day. It would light me up to go into work. I would just be so the happiest person alive. That's kind of that perspective, coming from maybe losing your job, gives you the empowerment necessary to start to make that shift toward action, right? And that was a belief that manifested a behavior. That was a belief that bore a behavior, and it was all in just a perspective shift. Like, losing your job wasn't the end of the world. So maybe there are some days that you feel bad. I remember losing a job and, yeah, feeling really bad about myself. I was hard on myself back then. And so I took it as definitely a problem with me. Like, it was a sign that something was wrong with me, that it was a sign that I can't hack it. I can't do the job, the great job that I wanted to do. And so I failed everybody. I failed myself. I was a failure. These were like the thoughts that came through my mind. But then all it took was a shift in the direction of, like, okay, well, now I'm going after my dreams, right? Now I'm going after something that I would rather be doing. And so that was the empowerment necessary to make the shift from wallowing in depression to actually like moving and getting up and going out there and yeah, going after it. Uh, but so I feel like we answered Iman's question, but I think, well, actually, we didn't answer it in its most simple form. I think let's answer this. So, is there a natural cure for depression? I think depression is repression, like repressing our ourselves behind a wall of shame, fear, doubt, guilt, grief, all the things that are low vibration, right? If you look at the uh, um, the map of consciousness that was put out by David R. Hawkins, you'll see the lower vibration, which is a lot of force, right? We have to force things to happen because one, we feel like the world is happening to us, like everything bad is happening to us. Versus being in the higher vibration where it's very powerful and we're driven by like power from within, like God is within us. We are children of God. And so therefore we've got God DNA, meaning we are powerful too in this life, right? In this life experience, in this iteration of our existence, in these human bodies, knowing that we're still connected to kind of our spiritual beings, the beings that don't inhabit the world, that do inhabit the celestial realm, right? Um, and and so when we don't forget that, we remember that we are powerful. When we repress that, right, behind the wall of shame and all those low vibrations, then we're very much kind of trying to force an outcome. And then we feel helpless. We feel down and out, like, oh, we don't have what it takes to get ahead because I've got to force and pull and haul my way there. And that is very debilitating. It's very deflating. It's very discouraging. It's very disempowering versus being on a higher vibration of like love and joy and empowerment on the way to enlightenment, right? We're climbing the scales here and we're closer to empowerment when we feel things like gratitude and love and uh, and we're being our most authentic self. So that's us expressing ourselves creatively. So creation, us creating things, getting out pen and paper and drawing and coloring or writing, um, taking out a paintbrush and on a canvas just creating a masterpiece, right? Even though you don't know how to look, you just start, right? You start with one brush stroke, you let yourself go. That's you expressing yourself creatively. That's you getting out of this bottle of fear and shame and holding yourself back and wallowing in despair. It's you getting out and breaking free from that and saying, you know what, I've got something here. I know something inside that's burning to get out is worth getting out, is worth sharing with the world. Even if I don't share it, right? I write it down. Even if I never show anybody this painting that I did, I still did it, right? And so that's the first step in not repressing yourself. It's expressing yourself. And I think depression is just us not expressing ourselves enough, right? It's we are in the habit of holding back enough to where we are not giving ourselves the opportunities because we feel like we're not worthy, right? We're not giving ourselves the opportunities to go after things that we want because we're not enough. We're not lovable enough. We're not likable enough. We come with trauma. We come from a broken background, a broken household, a broken childhood, and all these things make us ill equipped to really fully express ourselves, to really fully walk in fulfillment and chase our wildest dreams and know that they will come true without the shadow of a doubt, because without a shadow of a doubt, because we know that this is the way it works. This is the way it works. This is the way life works. I put out a desire. God's like, okay, let's do it. And we're moving in that direction. The minute we resist and we repress, we hold ourselves back, we cling and hoard, we hide, we are saying to God, the universe, the divine, that, oh no, I'm not ready. No, I don't want to do that. No, don't look at me. I'm clearly less than. Clearly inferior to level up to that place. So don't put me out there. Don't put me on stage. No, um, I'm just not who you're looking for, right? Like Moses, right? This Moses complex where it's like at first he questions, he's like, whoa, who me? What? And then he's like, yeah, yeah, you. God is like, yeah. And then, there was the back and forth and him coming to the realization that, God wouldn't have put this on my heart or made or put this mantle, right? This charged me with bringing my people to the promised land if I didn't have it in me, if I didn't have enough, I didn't have what it takes. You having a desire, you having a dream is all it takes. From there, the how is made clear, right? From you taking just that first step, putting that paintbrush on the canvas, dipping it in paint, right? Putting it on there and just like following through with that first brushstroke is you saying, okay, yes to this. I choose this. And then everything starts to be given to you as far as the awarenesses. And you're like, okay, this color, maybe not this color, or maybe not this thick of a brush. Let me get a thinner brush. I need this for that. And then all these awarenesses, all this know how that you already have um, starts to come out, starts to back you up in your in this endeavor. And so everything that you are comes to the table. Everything that you've been through, no matter how bad it feels like it was, how wrong it might have felt back then, is serving you today. And so imagine, right? You take all that you are, you collect yourself, and you say, I'm going forward with this dream because I know it's mine for the taking because I have it in my heart and it won't go away. It's a calling that calls to me. It's pulling me like magically and saying, okay, you want this? Come on and get it. It's absolutely yours. You can have this. So hopefully that was encouragement. I think when we're facing depression, when we feel like something's happened to us to cause us to experience a state of depression, then we are in a victim mindset as though life's happening to us and we have no power within ourselves to move away from it, to move beyond it, to move past it, to move through it, right? It's so heavy that we there's um there's nothing in us that's more powerful than it, right? This force that's holding us down. That belief right there will keep us in depression, will keep us wallowing in despair, will keep us in those low vibrations. Versus just that little shift toward a better feeling thought, a better feeling belief that I'm just gonna start. I'm just gonna get the paint or use what I have, even better, use what I have and start drawing. I'm just gonna put a pencil to the canvas. I'm just gonna put a pencil to the paper, right? I mean, we can simplify this and make it a no-brainer as far as the first step to take, um, to where you do that and God is like, okay, we're going, let's do this. And the wind is at your back and the momentum is effortless. It feels freeing because you're giving in to yourself, your authentic, true self. You're trusting yourself that no matter what, I don't even need to buy the easel. I don't need to buy the canvas. I don't need to buy the paint. I've got a pencil right here. I've got a rock. I've got something that will write on another thing, and I can transfer my ideas in this form and start there. And nothing can hold you back from doing that little bit, right? So that's empowering. That's an empowering move. And one empowering move makes way for so many more. That's why when we talked some weeks ago, like how gratitude is the climb up, how we are grateful for the littlest thing will start to open the doors for us to be grateful for more. Just the littlest thing. I'm grateful that I have legs to walk all day. Even though by the end of the day, I'm super, super tired and exhausted, I'm laying in bed, and I'm like, man, I don't even feel like I sat down all day. Sometimes it could feel like that in the life of a mother. I don't even feel like I've sat down all day. What if you were like, I'm so grateful for these legs keeping me up? I'm so grateful for these arms holding my babies today. I'm so grateful for the milk that is flowing and feeding my babies, and this is all that they need, until we're starting to feed them solids and they're asking for like, okay, well, give me more. What else can I eat? I'm 6 months old. Let's start on some solid foods. Uh, yeah, so it's definitely just a perspective shift. Gratitude is the way that we're kind of pulling ourselves up, right? And just expressing yourself, putting pedal to the metal is probably a little bit aggressive because that sounds like we're like just going all out. Maybe we need a little bit of baby steps. That's fine. Taking that pencil to paper is a baby step. Even if you don't have a notebook, don't go out and buy one. Literally use whatever scraps you can find and start jotting down ideas there for a manuscript you've been thinking of, that's been on your heart burning at you, right? Like, just like, oh, I know I've got a book in me. Can I just start typing? Can I just start writing it? Like, what am I holding myself back for? What do I think is more powerful than me? What do I feel like is the problem bigger than me that I can't see that I can do this and be okay? That I can do this and actually be good at it. You know, people say, don't ask, what if this doesn't work out? Ask, what if it does work out? And how much better that feels, right? How much better does that feel when you ask, what if this does work out? Like, what doors would be open? What would I do? And what would that mean for me and my family that this works out, that I can make a way? Which kind of ties in this next question. Kelly asked, why do I keep burning out in my business? Every time I think I'm getting ahead, I fall back into feeling overworked and exhausted. That one really lends itself to doing more than we feel capable of, have the capacity for. We're piling more on our plate than we need to. We're doing a lot of the stuff we don't like. We're not in our wheelhouse. We're not feeling powerful doing a lot of the things we're doing because we haven't deleted it from our to-do list because we don't need it. We haven't delegated it out because we don't have to do it. And we're not doing the one thing that really we are the best at, right? We're not operating in our strengths. We're not focusing on the thing that maybe as CEO, you should be doing. There are CEO tasks, and then there's a task for everybody else, right, on the team. And so you focused on the CEO tasks is you doing the most important thing your business needs from you right now. So if you're burning out in your business, how much of what you're doing is the technical work, the stuff that doesn't really move the needle, the stuff that just barely maybe makes a pretty website, when the reality is that's a website's focused on the packaging versus the product, right? The actual thing that you're promising. So the promise, the result that you're offering, that is the product. The packaging and all, and the price and everything else, even the positioning online in marketing, like that, or in offline even. That is all just like the frills around the product that you know, that you believe to the core of you is meant to reach the masses, is meant to reach the people that you want to reach. And so, how much of what you are doing is not focused on you connecting with the people you want to connect to? How much of what you are doing is you hiding behind the pretty website and not delivering on the ultimate promise that only you can offer, that only you can deliver on, because you're that unique. People want to hear from you and your unique perspective. Whether it's a book or a blog or a podcast or a social media account, or it's a restaurant, right? Your unique take on how you make this fish, or it's um, uh you're a choreographer and this unique way that you dance and this dance routine everybody wants to learn from you, or whatever, this unique style of yoga, this unique style of pilates, every and you know that I'm speaking some truth here, because you can just look at the marketplace and see that there are how many pilates offerings, how many yoga offerings, how many yoga studios, how many dance studios that you can go to, and you want that instructor, right? You want that choreographer, you want that person leading you in class, or you want to read a book from that particular person. You want to listen to a podcast. You want to hear this person being interviewed by this exact person. I want to watch Oprah interview XYZ, and that is everything, right? So it's like, this is this is the only tell that we need that shows us that everybody has a place in this world. Like, we don't need to compete with anyone, because what you have is enough, and the world wants to hear from you. And the people that you want to reach also are waiting for you. And the thing about burning out in business is that you're not doing the things that are connecting you with the people who want to hear from you if you're doing too much of the burnout stuff. Um, so if you're feeling like you're getting ahead, and I'm curious what that means, like, what does it mean when you say you're getting ahead? Does that mean that you're making money? Does that mean that you're filling your programs with people? Does that mean you have more clients, or you are being interviewed on media? Like, what does that it mean, right? To get ahead. I think for everybody it's different. And this speaks to us needing to define success for ourselves. Like, what does success mean for you? Because it's different for everybody. And so, what does it mean to get ahead? And how, when you're getting ahead, what are you doing? How does it look when you're getting ahead? Are you exhausted? And if to get ahead, it looks like you burning out and hustling to get there, if that's what you believe getting ahead looks like, then you're just creating a cycle of getting out, or sorry, burning out in order to get ahead. If you're hustling towards success, then you will forever have to hustle towards success, because this is what you've built your foundation on. This is what you believe is what gets you there, right? Unless you change your behavior, which would require a shift in belief, unless you change your behavior and your habits and where you're spending your time and your attention, your energy, until you change that, then you're going to continue to be on this hamster wheel, be on this cycle on repeat of burning out to get ahead. And then it's just like, why do I keep doing this to myself? Because you haven't changed the belief. You haven't changed the belief that you don't need to do that anymore. I put this on everything. Like, I would say the first few weeks, the first several weeks working with clients, we are working on how to simplify everything. Um, you come into work with me, and you've got this business. Maybe it's already kind of up and running, or at least the idea is there and it's been brewing, and you're kind of filling it out and talking to people about it. But you're thinking about all the things that you need to do. It's the website, and I've got to make business cards, or I've got to go to networking events, and I've got to do all this stuff. But then where's the dream? In order to have any success in simplifying anything and getting down to the nuts and bolts of your business so that you're not burning out every single time, it requires us be clear on what the desire is, what it is that we want in our business, what it is that we want our business to look like. How do I want to feel as CEO, as founder in my business? How do I want to feel? How do I want day to day to look like? And do I want a team around me? What if I close my eyes, can I see it? And do I look like I'm hustling in that scenario? Or does it look like I'm laid back and like totally at ease in my element? Everybody's thriving. Everybody around me is working, and we're working deliberately on the thing that we feel most successful at. Like, we're bringing our strengths to the table. So my team is happy. I'm happy. My clients are happy. They're being served by people who love to serve. They're purchasing a program that they love to be in, right? They love to be in this energy, right? In the mix of this. And so it's like, until I get clear on what the desire is for my business, then I'm gonna just be stuck in the doing all day. And we've got to simplify, which requires us to rethink how we're doing business, rethink what it means to simplify down to, it might feel uncomfortable. And for most of my clients, it does. It feels uncomfortable until they adopt the belief that, no, this actually feels good, to let a lot go, to let all the stuff that's just a waste of my time go, that the energy leaks go, the draining, debilitating, depressing thoughts go. When I let those go, this is actually me in my most authentic self. This is me expressing myself most creatively. This is me feeling like super just high vibe and happy, and like, oh yeah, I'm in my element. I'm living on purpose. This is my purposeful work. Um, from there, then it's like, okay, now let's start to dream up what comes from this place. Let's start to dream up this business of yours. And then it's like, okay, well, and then you start from there, right? The belief has shifted to something more empowering, something more freeing, something more in line with your vision for your life, and less like hustle, less like burning yourself to the ground, less like you just completely, yeah, exhausted every 7 days, living for the weekend. And, when that shift happens, like, there is no limit. I'm changing my language around that because I used to say sky's the limit, and my mentor says there is no limit. I love that so much better. So there is no limit, right? There is no limit with God. We're limitless beings when co-creating with God. It's only the limits that we put on ourselves, right? That would have us hold back in any type of way. And so imagine, right? We let go of all the limiting beliefs and we're unstoppable. We're just like, okay, tell me what I can create next. Just um, show me what I can do. So I hope that answered the question. Ask me anything. I think we are. Oh, we got a spammer. We got a spammer in YouTube. But yeah, thanks for coming on live. I think we answered everything. Thank you, Kelly and Iman, for the questions. If you're still watching, please subscribe to YouTube. Please give this a thumbs up or follow me on social if you're not already. Thanks for coming on live. We're live every Thursday, 12 noon Pacific for the Clarity Hotline. And I'm always open to answering questions live on the call through the live stream, you in the comments. And then also you can submit your question to clarityhotline.com for an answer the following week. So answer any or ask any question there, clarityhotline.com or here in the comments and I'll see it. Uh, Especially when it's on the replay. I think in the live stream, we lose the comments. You might be familiar, like losing the comments when you're in the live stream. And then if you comment on the replay, then I can see those. So if you didn't answer live and I didn't get to your question live, then definitely put the question in the replay comments or submit it to clarityhotline.com. And that is out. I'm going to go to YouTube. We've got our after hours exclusive over on YouTube. So if you want to stay with me, hop over to YouTube. Same handle at Declutterist. And I just go over, just some more stuff. We do some exclusive stuff over on YouTube. I call it Clarity Hotline After Hours. And we just hang out a little bit longer and answer a little bit more questions. And sometimes I just go into this total storytelling mode and probably say too much. Okay. All right. Peace, Instagram. Okay. So let me get cozy. So anyway, back to that story of I don't know, what is this? We got a spammer on YouTube. I'm getting a little bit more cozy now that we're in our after hours. I'm gonna put a pillow down here to sit on and take a sip of water. But yeah, every time I move, I don't know what it's doing, but like the lighting, it's like a little bubble on on the laptop and it gives me a ring light. It's pretty incredible. I think it's incredible at least. I mean, it was only a matter of time, right? Before technology is totally just one upping itself and it's just constantly getting better and better. And I love that because the ring light, like if you don't have an exterior or an external camera and you're not using your built-in camera, then the ring light can sometimes be lost if you're using your laptop. Um, if you're using your iPhone, then the ring light surrounds it. Right. So if you're using a ring light for your stuff, then you notice, right, the ring light gets drowned out by the laptop because it's sitting behind the laptop. Either that or you've put it ahead of the computer, ahead of the camera, right lens. And so you've got but then sometimes that makes it into the frame, right? Your ring light. Versus just filming like on your iPhone and then your ring light just surrounds your iPhone and then that's perfectly lit. You're lit from all sides and the camera is within that ring light. And so you've got nice lighting. And then as you get more and more, like for instance, with YouTube, it's always been recommended to me to have the two lights. I don't know what they're called. The two lights that go on either side. And I'm looking into that. I like it and I kind of don't. I like the idea of upgrading so here's a manifestation. I'm throwing this out there. I love the idea of having the two like flanking lights. I really don't know what those are called. Why am I blanking on that? They can be LED or soft lights. Maybe it's just called soft lights. But anyway, it gives you that lighting from both sides versus the ring light sometimes is just like, not as good, not as pretty a picture, and then if you're wearing glasses like this, then you see all the things like you see in my frames here, you'll see the ring, and so it's not always pretty, and, the camera on this thing is so much better than the last laptop. But, what was I getting at? Oh, yeah, so I'm gonna put that out there, we're gonna manifest together, so you go ahead and manifest your ultimate YouTube studio lighting situation. I would love to have, I guess, yeah, like a proper YouTube maybe I don't need a YouTube studio. I love the idea of, like, just having my office space and maybe I've got, like, a corner set up with YouTube, because I don't want to feel like I've got to leave my office and go into, like, a room to film. I guess I just don't love that. I would do, like, studio and, you know, rent out a studio for the day and, like, film something in the studio. I could see that. But I don't really think, I want my office space to, like, have its own kind of carved out room for filming. I'd rather, yeah, just rent off the, studio space or, uh, like, if I'm doing voiceover for a book, like, that would probably be just me renting, right, studio time. I think I like that better. So when I think about that and I think about the layout of, like, I guess, my my office, I like the idea of, yeah, just having it in the same space as my desk and, everything else in my office. And then maybe it's just kind of like a beautiful backdrop and then the lighting, so the 2 light boxes or whatever lighting is necessary. Maybe it's natural light. Maybe it's, I've got a huge window and then it's the natural lighting. I don't really, want to always have to face a window unless I'm just doing something impromptu. So I would like kind of like a setup. But the good thing about in the office, is that you just can remove the light boxes. And then you've got like that same backdrop and that'd be good for seeing people, having your team come in and meeting with them, or, if you're seeing clients in your office, then, they can meet you there, and that, or maybe you take on a guest for a podcast and you're sitting in that backdrop, and so, you can kind of like expand your space, move the light boxes out. You're not kind of confined to one particular area for your YouTube production needs. I love the idea of just having like this free form kind of office space. So, yeah, I'm gonna put it out there. I love, the idea of having light boxes, whatever will, and I know one mentor of mine, she's on YouTube, and you can see the glare and stuff in her eyes when she, like, moves her eyes around because she wears glasses, and you could see her light box in her glasses, so she tries, you have to put them high and then angle your face down. This is all stuff that if it feels too complicated, don't do right now. Don't do it. There's so many people using natural lighting from the window. I'm using natural lighting from windows right now, or go outside and do it. I like filming outside too. It's just if it's easy, do it. Right? If it's complicated, maybe push that idea off, because when we do too much of the work behind our manifestation, we're telling God like, "No, I got it all." And then we're not trusting him. We're not trusting God, and it's kind of like, uh, you know, um, when we place an order on Target or Amazon, or I don't know, name another thing that delivers, Vons, whatever, Instant Cart, and or Uber Eats, right? You expect your stuff to come. You pay for it on the app and it's delivered. And it's just an expectation that is just, it's like done. I put it out there. I do not have the lack of faith that I will get this and it will arrive when in the time that it said it will. I have no lack of faith. Like, I have complete faith. And imagine if you had that same amount of faith in God. If we start busying ourselves, contacting Amazon support. Hey, it says that it's coming next week, Wednesday. Is that really true? Can I be sure about that? Is it really Wednesday or is it going to be Tuesday? And how can I be? Can you send me a confirmation? And then if I call on Tuesday, can you confirm the tracking? And what if I went about all of that extra effort to, and I busied myself really ultimately? I'm being unproductive right now by doing all of that legwork instead of just trusting. And then come Wednesday, it's delivered. I would much rather go the route of trusting and it being delivered, and then having, like, just the freedom of time that that afforded me because I just didn't complicate my life with all of the logistics. Well, that's a lot in manifestation. I don't want to busy myself with the stuff that I can hand to God, that I trust God enough. I trust myself in the co-creation of it. I trust myself that what I put out there as far as a desire and getting clear on, like, my vision for my world, my family, my life. I'm clear on that and I get clearer every day. I trust myself enough to get clear and to continue to be met with challenges and contrast that are only informing my desire to get more clear, right? The clarity of my desire. It's only informing me to get clearer on the request that I make to God. That I say, "Hey God, I'm just throwing this out there. I want a new laptop. Throwing this out there. I want some soft boxes. Throwing this out there. I want office space that's big enough to where the light boxes aren't in the way. Like, set it up over there in the corner and it still looks beautiful." Right? And so I get to design this. And then I get to trust that it's going to be done and have full faith that God's going to make a way. I don't need to worry about the how. It absolutely will happen, guaranteed, 100% guaranteed, because God is delivering, not Amazon. I trust God, you know? So it's like, man, if you can trust Amazon, you can absolutely trust God. And when you do, you're limitless. You're limitless. You're unstoppable. You're fearless. You are carefree, and life just feels that much lighter. You're not busying yourself with the things that don't matter. You're not busying yourself with worry and complaint and strife and grief and basically, like, what could have been a situation with me buying the laptop. If you were here for the beginning of this, rewind it, watch the replay and rewind it to hear my story about this laptop situation this week. But if I stayed in this idea of, like, "Oh, I don't have the money for this." I wasn't expecting to have to fix my car, right? And do all these repairs to the house or something like that, right? All these unexpected things, right, that happen in life as we're adulting. Uh we could get caught up in staying in the lack, right? And right there we cut off the trust in ourselves, trust in God, trust that a way will be made for this to be all okay, because we are okay. And so if I'm operating in the lack and the scarcity, I am telling everybody around me, including God and myself, that this isn't going to work out. Success is not guaranteed. It's not guaranteed because it all falls on me. And now I've got to find a way to pay for this, versus knowing success is guaranteed. Like, it's just a matter of time. And and time is beyond my control. And I'm going to focus on what I can control, which is my response to what's happened. And I'm going to receive with a grateful heart, open heart, loving heart. And I'm going to go forward and be so grateful for this laptop and just totally relish all its tricks and tips and cool things that it's got here. And I'm gonna, yeah, just wait for the next beautiful blessing to land on my lap, just like that. And the money will flow in, the money's gonna flow in and it's gonna flow out. I think if we can be with an empty bank account in the same level of gratitude, like intense cheerfulness and peace, as when the bank account is overflowing with disposable income, then we have found ourselves in true abundance. And uh and that is like the ultimate goal in life, to be able to live in that state where it's like, regardless of what happens on the outside, I'm okay. And Neville Goddard says, act as if the wish is already fulfilled. Act as though the wish that you put out there is already fulfilled. It's literally in the making. I can't remember who said it, but 95% of your wish is already done. We're just waiting for the other, almost like a buffering, the page to buffer and load. It's like I'm just waiting for that last little 5% to show up in my external world. Like the fact that I believe it, I see it, I put it out there and I'm clear on what I want, because in order to be clear on what I want, I've got to be clear on what I don't want, right? I definitely have some clarity around what I don't want. And that's the contrast. And that's contrast is okay. I'm not resisting it. I'm not making the contrast bigger than me. I'm just saying, oh, good. I'm glad. Good to know. Good to know what I don't want. Now can get clearer on what I do want. So see how I'm accepting kind of both sides of the coin as just one coin, the same coin. And so I'm going to use this coin and move forward with my life. I'm paying for my life. I'm paying it forward. And I'm saying that no matter what happens, I'm okay and life is good. And then it's in that spirit and in that uh, just frequency that everything is drawn that is good and that is flowing and that is abundant and that is rich and robust and luxurious and fulfilling, right? And rewarding, right? I mean, literally everything you want that is encapsulated in this idea of success for you is a thought away, is a belief away. And I think that was really this whole call in a nutshell is how we can continue to shift to become more empowered, the most empowered version of ourselves. That is ultimately what it's all about. I think it is every single day. Every single day, can you become your most empowered self? And if that is just taking on one little a thought of gratitude, like, well, at least it's sunny outside, and but even if it's raining, at least the flowers are getting fed. The flowers are getting the water they need. The soil for our food is getting what it needs. The replenishment doesn't only need sun; it also needs water, right? And that little thing to take me out of like wallowing in the lack. And brings me back into like the power of what is that is always it's always been there. If it brings me there, then I am my more empowered self. I'm more capable of having everything that I want from that place. Okay. So I think this wraps it up. Thanks for coming on to this week's Clarity Hotline. I'll see you next week. ClarityHotline.com to submit your question or just comment on this replay for maybe next week's Clarity Hotline. I'll answer your question. If you wanted to be anonymous, you'll probably want to submit on ClarityHotline.com and just write anonymous at the bottom of your question. I'm more than happy to answer anonymously. So don't feel like because you don't want to be called out or like it's like the dedication line on like those late night radio shows where it's like they take the dedications, but you don't want to be called out by name because maybe you're a two-timer and you're like, you can't let so and so know that you're also dedicating a song to her. Anyway, oh, the things of high school, right? Well, anyway, it's like you don't want to say your real name. Well, I guess you could say a fake name. I can't stop you. But if you want to be anonymous, I will respect that. If you write the anonymous, I will just answer the question anonymously. I feel like I needed to say that just so nobody's being held back by their own, like, I don't want to ask this question because no question is off limits and no question is dumb. No, I will answer the question. I think if it's a little invasive of my privacy, I might have some reservations. I am all about still being a mother and protecting my children. So just know that that's also on my mind. But as far as like, yeah, just there's really nothing off. This is real life Q&A. There's nothing off limits, right? If it leads you to 360-degree clarity in your life, I'm all for answering it. Okay. All right. Peace. I'll see you next week.